Under the ocean, where pressure is intense and light barely reaches, engineers have built tunnels that seem impossible. These undersea tunnels, carved through rock and water, connect cities, islands, and continents. They show human determination and skill, overcoming nature's toughest challenges. From the longest underwater tunnel to a bold ship tunnel still in the works, these 12 structures are mind-blowing. Each one has a unique story of innovation and grit. So let's dive into these incredible feats of engineering that change the world. Stick around because number 1 will leave you stunned with its massive scale. Number 12. Smart Tunnel. Back in 2003, Kuala Lumpur faced a crisis. Heavy rains flooded the city center, stranding cars and ruining homes along the Klang River. Traffic jams on Jalan Sungai Besi stretched for hours. Engineers had a wild idea: build one tunnel to fix both problems. That's how the Smart Tunnel was born, a 9.7-kilometer marvel in Malaysia, the longest stormwater tunnel in Southeast Asia. It's not just for water. It's a dual-purpose beast with a 4-kilometer double-deck motorway for cars. By 2007, after 2 giant German boring machines, Tua and Gemilang, chewed through karstic limestone, the tunnel opened. It handles 30,000 cars daily and cuts travel from Jalan Istana to Kampung Pandan from 15 minutes to 4. When storms hit, it switches modes. Mode 2 diverts water under the road. Mode 4 closes the motorway, letting 3 million cubic meters of floodwater rush through, saving areas like Masjid Jamek from disaster. Since opening, it's stopped 8 major floods, including a massive 5 million cubic meter diversion in 2021. Costing $514 million, it earned a UN Habitat Award in 2011 for its genius design. But can a tunnel outsmart nature forever? Have you dodged a flood thanks to smart? Drop a yes in the comments. Now let's head to South Korea, where a tunnel under the sea transformed an island's fate. Number 11. Boryeong Undersea Tunnel. In 2010, South Korea's west coast had a problem. Traveling from Boryeong to Tai'an meant a 75-kilometer detour through Hongcheong and Seosan, taking 90 minutes. Ferries to once an island were slow and weather-dependent. Hyundai E&C took on the challenge to build the Boryeong Undersea Tunnel, Korea's longest at 6.927 kilometers. Starting in December 2010, workers used the new Australian tunneling method, blasting bedrock 80 meters below sea level. It was risky. Seawater could flood the site, endangering lives and spiking costs. Their intelligent multi-grouting system kept water out, stabilizing the ground. By June 2019, both 4-lane tubes were pierced, and the tunnel opened on December 1, 2021, costing 485.3 billion won, toll-free. Now, the trip from Decheonport to Tai'an takes 10 minutes, connecting National Route 77 and boosting tourism to Decheon Beach. Safety is tight, with 301 fire hydrants every 50 meters, 92 CCTV cameras, and 21 evacuation passages. Over 1,000 vehicles crossed on opening day, with no accidents reported. The tunnel, 5th longest globally, transformed logistics, letting trucks roll even in storms. Ever driven this tunnel? Comment yes below. But what about a tunnel under a massive lake in China? Hold on for the next one. It's a game changer. Number 10. Taihu Tunnel. In 2018, Jiangsu province in China had a traffic nightmare. Traveling from Wuxi to Yixing took 2 hours, clogging roads around Taihu Lake, the country's 3rd largest freshwater lake. The solution? Build the Taihu Tunnel, China's longest underwater highway at 10.79 kilometers. Construction kicked off on January 9, 2018, using a cofferdam method to divide the lakebed into 9 sections, protecting the lake's ecology. Over 2 million cubic meters of concrete formed the 6-lane, 17.45-meter wide tunnel, costing 9.9 billion yuan, which is about $1.56 billion. By December 30th, 2021, it opened, slashing travel time between Mashan and Nanquan by half. Colorful LED ceiling lights keep drivers alert, mimicking a starry sky. The tunnel, part of the 43.9-kilometer Changzhou-Wuxi Highway, links Suzhou, Wuxi, and Changzhou, boosting the Yangze River Delta's economy, which generates a fourth of China's GDP. To avoid pollution, builders used eco-friendly trucks and hydraulic pile hammers, cutting noise by 50%. The tunnel's 3 ventilation areas double as scenic spots, including a 150-meter eyelet. Over 10,000 vehicles use it daily, easing Shanghai-Nanjing commutes. Ever driven this tunnel? Comment yes below. Next, let's sail to Norway, where a tunnel for ships is about to rewrite maritime history. Don't miss it. Number 9. Stad Ship Tunnel. Stadhavet Sea in Norway's Vestland County is a sailor's nightmare. Storms rage 100 days a year, and waves hit 30 meters, claiming 33 lives since World War II. Ships wait days to pass, delaying fish exports and risking lives. In the 1990s, Norway decided to fight back. The Stad Ship Tunnel, the world's first full-scale ship tunnel, was proposed to cut through the Stad Peninsula. Planning began in 2013, and by 2021, Parliament approved 5.06 billion Norwegian kroner. This 1.7-kilometer tunnel, 50 meters high and 36 meters wide, will let ships like Hurtigrutens coastal ferries bypass the Deadly Sea. Construction starts in 2026, using drill and blast to remove 3 million cubic meters of gneiss rock. Snøhetta's rough-hewn entrances blend with cliffs, and a road bridge adds tourist appeal. At 8 knots, ships will pass in 10 minutes, with a light system controlling one-way traffic for 100 ships daily. Mowi, a salmon giant, backs it, as 20% of their vessels face delays at Stad. The tunnel could shift fish transport from trucks to ships, cutting emissions. Core drilling hit snags in 2024 due to water leaks, but 4 contractors are now bidding, with a contract due by fall 2025. Will it tame Stad's fury? Comment yes if you think this tunnel's a game changer. That's Norway's wild plan, but what about a tunnel already moving thousands under the sea? Get ready for the next epic story. Number 8. Ryfylke Tunnel. In 2012, Stavanger's commuters faced a slog. A ferry from Solbakk to the city took 45 minutes, often delayed by fjord storms. Norway's answer, the Ryfylke Tunnel, the world's longest and deepest subsea road tunnel. Stretching 14.4 kilometers under the Horgefjord, it reaches 292 meters below sea level. Work began in 2013, with AF Gruppen blasting 1.2 million cubic meters of rock. By 2017, the twin tubes, each with 2 lanes, were pierced, and on December 30th, 2019, the $785 million tunnel opened. Now the drive takes 15 minutes, handling 10,000 vehicles daily. Its 7% gradient, the steepest allowed, challenged builders, but Amberg Navigator software ensured precision. To ease driver anxiety, 10 to 20% feel uneasy in tunnels, artist VL Bjørkeset Andersen crafted whale-shaped rest areas with blue LED lights, mimicking ocean calm. Safety includes ventilation, fire alarms, and 24/7 monitoring. Tolls at 179 Norwegian kroner, about $17.45, fund the Ryfast project, including the 5.5-kilometer Hundvåg Tunnel. Since opening, it's cut school commutes and boosted Ryfylke's economy, making Strand a hotter housing market. Ever driven this deep? Comment yes below. Now let's zip across the Pacific to a tunnel that's half bridge, half underwater marvel. Check out what is up next. Number 7. Tokyo Bay Aqualine. In the 1980s, Tokyo's commuters were stuck. Driving from Kawasaki to Kisarazu meant a 100-kilometer loop around Tokyo Bay, taking up to 90 minutes. Ferries were slow and packed. Japan's bold fix? The Tokyo Bay Aqualine, a 14-kilometer bridge-tunnel combo that slices straight across the bay. Construction started in 1989, costing 1.4 trillion yen, about $11.7 billion. The 9.6-kilometer tunnel, Japan's longest undersea road tunnel, dives 60 meters below the seabed. 6 giant boring machines dug through soft clay, with engineers battling water pressure to prevent leaks. By December 18, 1997, the Aqua-Line opened, cutting travel time to 15 minutes. The 4.4-kilometer bridge leads to Umihotaru, an artificial island with a rest area boasting restaurants and a 360-degree bay view, drawing 10 million visitors yearly. The tunnel's 6 lanes handle 40,000 vehicles daily, easing congestion on Route 16. Safety features include 120 emergency exits, 400 fire extinguishers, and 24/7 ventilation to clear exhaust. Tolls now 800 yen, which is $5.30, with ETC, sparked debate, but a 2014 discount doubled traffic. The Aqua-Line survived the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, proving its resilience. Have you cruised this marvel? Drop a yes in the comments. That's Japan's slick shortcut. But what about a tunnel that carved through Europe's toughest mountains? Check out what is next, and it's a record breaker. If you're loving this video, hit that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts. Which tunnel blew your mind? Let's hear it. Number 6. Gotthard Base Tunnel. In 1999, Switzerland tackled a monster challenge. Crossing the Alps between Zurich and Milan meant slow, winding train routes, clogging trade and travel. The solution? The Gotthard Base Tunnel, the world's longest rail tunnel at 57 kilometers. Construction began in 2004, costing 12.2 billion Swiss francs, about $12.5 billion. 4 Herrenknecht boring machines, each 400 meters long, ground through granite and gneiss 2.3 kilometers below the peaks. Workers faced rock burst and heat up to 46 degrees Celsius, with 9 losing their lives. By October 2010, the eastern tube broke through, and on June 1, 2016, the tunnel opened. It slashes travel time from Zurich to Lugano by 45 minutes, with trains hitting 250 kilometers per hour. The flat route, unlike steep alpine passes, lets freight trains carry double the load, moving 20 million tons yearly. Safety includes 178 cross passages, 2 emergency stations, and 24/7 air monitoring. Over 260 trains pass daily, cutting CO2 emissions by 600,000 tons annually as trucks shift to rail. The tunnel's opening united Europe, with leaders from Germany, France, and Italy celebrating in Erstfeld. Would you ride this beast? Comment yes below. Now let's head to China, where a massive tunnel bridge combo redefined a city's future. Next one is coming up fast. Number 5. Shanghai Yangtze River Tunnel and Bridge. In 2004, Shanghai's roads were choking. Traffic from Pudong to Changxing Island crawled, taking hours to cross the Yangtze River's mouth. Ferries couldn't keep up with China's booming trade. The fix? The Shanghai Yangtze River Tunnel and Bridge, a 25.5-kilometer mega project. Work started in 2005, costing 12.6 billion yuan, which is about $1.8 billion. The 8.9-kilometer tunnel, Shanghai's first under-river road, dives 25 meters below the riverbed. 4 tunnel boring machines, each 15.43 meters wide, carved through muddy silt, battling leaks and subsidence. Meanwhile, the 16.6-kilometer bridge with 6 lanes stretches across 2 islands. By October 31st, 2009, it opened, cutting travel time from 90 minutes to 20. The tunnel's 3 lanes per direction handle 80,000 vehicles daily, linking Pudong's port to the G40 expressway. Safety systems include 200 CCTV cameras, 48 jet fans for ventilation, and 12 escape routes. The bridge's cable-stayed design withstands 120 km/h winds and 7.0 magnitude quakes. This project boosted Shanghai's GDP, contributing 8% to China's economy, and eased cargo flow to Chongming Island, a key ecozone. Builders used 1.2 million tons of steel, enough for 17 Eiffel Towers, and eco-measures cut river pollution by 30%. Ever cross this giant? Comment yes below. That's Shanghai's colossal link, but what about a tunnel that joins 2 continents under a stormy strait? The next one is packed with surprises. Number 4, Marmaray Tunnel. In 2004, Istanbul's traffic was a mess. Millions crossed the Bosphorus Strait daily, jamming bridges and ferries. Turkey had a bold plan, a rail tunnel under the sea to link Europe and Asia. The Marmaray Tunnel, stretching 13.6 kilometers with 1.4 kilometers submerged, began construction that year. Costing $4.5 billion, it faced massive hurdles. The Bosphorus, 60 meters deep, sits in a quake-prone zone. Engineers used sunken caissons, huge concrete boxes, to form the tunnel, designed to survive a magnitude 9.0 earthquake. Digging unearthed 35 shipwrecks, some from the 5th century, halting work for archaeology. By October 29, 2013, the tunnel opened, connecting Üsküdar to Yenikapı. It carries 300,000 passengers daily on 333 trains, cutting Sirkeci-Kadıköy trips from 30 minutes to 4. The 76.3-kilometer Marmaray rail line, including the tunnel, links Gebze to Halkalı, easing Istanbul's gridlock. Safety features include 1,200 sensors, 50 escape routes, and floodgates to block surges. The tunnel's 11 sections, welded underwater by divers, were a world first. It boosted trade, with 25% of Turkey's exports now moving faster. Have you ridden this cross-continental marvel? Comment yes below. Now let's cross the Atlantic to a tunnel bridge that redefined America's coast. Next one is a stunner you won't want to miss. Number 3, Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. In 1960, Virginia's eastern shore was cut off. Ferries from Virginia Beach to the Delmarva Peninsula took hours, stalling trade and tourism. The state launched a daring project, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, a 28-kilometer marvel crossing the bay's mouth. Construction began in September 1960, costing $200 million. The 17.6-mile structure blends 12 miles of low trestle bridges, 2 one-mile tunnels under Thimble Shoal and Chesapeake channels, and 4 artificial islands. Workers drove 5,000 concrete piles into the seabed, battling 6-meter waves and hurricanes. The tunnels 30 meters below water let ships pass overhead while cars flow beneath. On April 15, 1964, it opened, shaving 95 minutes off the 160-kilometer coastal detour. Now 100 to 20,000 vehicles cross weekly, with 3.5 million annually, boosting Norfolk's port economy by 10%. Safety includes 24/7 patrols, 100 to 50 cameras, and storm gates that close for 100 km/h winds. A 1999 expansion added parallel bridges, and a $756 million tunnel project starts in 2026. Named a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark, it's one of 7 modern wonders. Drivers get 360-degree bay views, with fishing piers on islands. Ever cross this beast? Comment yes below. That's America's coastal giant, But what about a Japanese tunnel that pushed rail travel to new depths? Next is a record setter. Number 2. Seikon Tunnel. In 1971, Japan faced a tough problem. Hokkaido and Honshu, its main islands, were split by the Tsugaru Strait, forcing slow ferry rides that stalled trade. A rail tunnel was the answer, but the strait's 140-meter depth and earthquake risks made it a gamble. The Seikon Tunnel, a 53.85-kilometer rail link with 23.3 kilometers undersea, began construction that year, costing 538.4 billion yen, which is about $3.6 billion. It took 17 years. Workers used 168,000 tons of explosives to blast through volcanic rock, facing deadly floods when fissures leaked seawater. In 1983, a cave-in killed 5 workers, but they pushed on. On March 13, 1988, the tunnel opened, letting Shinkansen trains hit 210 kilometers per hour, cutting Aomori-Hakodate trips from 4 hours to 2. It's the world's longest undersea rail tunnel, with 2,000 trains monthly carrying 50,000 passengers. Safety includes 52 refugee tunnels, 300 quake sensors, and a 24/7 control center. The 600-meter-deep Tapi-Kaitai station, an emergency stop, doubles as a museum. It slashed shipping costs by 30%, boosting Hokkaido's fish exports. In 2016, bullet trains extended service, doubling passenger numbers. Have you ridden this deep-sea giant? Comment yes below. Now let's cross to Europe for the ultimate undersea marvel that redefined global travel. The last one is coming, and it's unreal. Number 1. Channel Tunnel. In 1987, the UK and France tackled a centuries-old dream. Crossing the English Channel meant slow ferries or flights, splitting Europe's heart. The Channel Tunnel, a 50.45-kilometer rail link with 37.9 kilometers undersea, was their answer. Construction began in December 1987, costing £9 billion, about $15 billion. 11 boring machines, each 200 meters long, chewed through chalk marl 40 meters below the seabed. Workers faced leaks and cave-ins, with one near disaster flooding a shaft in 1990. On December 1, 1990, British and French teams met midpoint, shaking hands through a tiny hole. By May 6, 1994, the tunnel opened with 3 tubes, 2 for trains, 1 for emergencies. Eurostar trains now zip at 160 kilometers per hour, cutting London-Paris trips from 6 hours to 2.5. It carries 10 million passengers and 20 million tons of freight yearly, boosting trade by 15%. Safety includes 700 fire detectors, 95 kilometers of cooling pipes, and cross passages every 375 meters. The tunnel survived a 2008 fire, reopening in weeks. It's one of 7 modern wonders, with 400 trains daily. Builders used 13,000 workers and enough concrete for 11 Empire State Buildings. Brexit slowed passenger numbers, but 2024 saw a 7% rise. This tunnel reshaped Europe, making day trips between nations real. Ever taken this ride? Comment yes below. We've reached the end. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more epic content, and comment which tunnel amazed you most. Your thoughts keep us going.